wasteful since then. That near post ploy they're using hasn't come to fruition. And Morland have been able to much discomfort as we finally get the ball back all the way back to Apostolakis. We may be live.
Your patience and welcome. 5. The SFV is up and running in Darebin, the Community Sports Centre, just inside Res. The contest culminated. It was Fitzroy picking apart out of Hume FC, 4-0. All transpiring on the world. Good to be here. Ethan, welcome to Series Futsal.
Thank you very much, Adam. It is a pleasure to be here. And what a game we've had so far. Belters, Norbury's have started beautifully.
A lot of emphasis on Carlton Hartkeeper, considering he's had a lot to do, that of Yerman. He's been pass to Carlton. Couldn't manage to steer home. And
he's been turning the screw. Carlton trying to find the break. And D'Souza gets them going with Cooper. Looks to dry, a lot to do. This man here, Yerman, has been a lot busy.
Certainly so, considering that they've had might have had time in that previous effort, although D'Souza has already had his return. D'Souza steps inside. Welcome back.
It's a brilliant move and a really well taken finish. As good as Yerman has been to stop, D'Souza has been of occasions. Him and Cooper's link up has been brilliant, and they're reaping the Harris is a bit the spark. But there's no...
At the moment for Carlton, they have an ample opportunity. They just haven't seemed to match the quality of the Blues.
Do you want me to leave the session? There's no time to get work. Use my hotspots. Use my hotspots. Yeah.
Just do that.
We'll do a half and then just do like that, or invite me or something.
What we'll do is,
because it's going to be too long to do all that.
This half?
Yeah. Just go on my account, make me a Sue's Futsal ref.
Next game, you did the whole first time.
Yeah, just do it
that's
so
all
you
right.
can
Last 10 minutes of the next time.
That's all right.
20 minutes.
That's what I need to do for next week. So rotate
Yeah, we'll
last
get it
half.
right. First week.
You do full first half next game, I'll do this half. Who's the one else first one? I don't know how we're making it.
Why we black? Video film.
I think tonight we kind of just wanted to jump in a bit.
We need to get like a suck on the other guy.
So next week.
Hey, it's live and not lagging.
It's not lagging now.
That's alright.
The quality's good.
With this laptop, it's fucking taking ages.
You know what? I'll be quite angry so we start. His phone's quite far away. That's the problem.
Where's your phone? Where's your phone actually?
Mate,
This game.
you can log into the stream watch stuff. Yeah.
Where's your
lead?
Why you having
Can you tell them some grown in?
Yeah, but hotspot is shocking.
Maybe it's here.
So we've got it live now?
It's live.
Sorry, is it lagging now? No.
Oh,
It looks like it's lagging.
it looks like it's lagging actually. Yeah, it's not moving anymore.
But it should be showing what that's showing.
Stop again.
So it's going to be streaming lagging. It's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay where?
Yeah.
People are recording. We want to play the whole night. No, just keep on. Keep going. Yeah, we're live.
You heard it from Peter himself. We are live. The second half about to transpire. Billy Sassine having kick-off for Carlton. Their return to the promised land hasn't gone according to the script I'm sure they had written before entering the court. They trail by 3-0. What can they manufacture in this second half?
It's been all Morland in the first half. Carlton really needs to get an early goal just to create some nerves and uncertainty around the Blues, who look to be in cruise control in the first half. This man in particular, Cooper, was at the heart of a lot of what they did, and so was Dos Santos as well, as he returns to Cooper, who's got Pimenta wide and uses him. Dos Santos looking to create the angle, rolls it back for Pimenta, And they just run out of room, unfortunately, but it's another lovely little combination from Morland. Carlton looking to restart. The options really froze ahead of Ben Harris, who was their live wire in the first half. Apostolakis getting it going again. Dos Santos looking for his options. Barrigos presents back to Dos Santos, who has Pimenta wide and uses him. Oh, it's a good read. And they look to go again through Pimenta. Now Cooper, Dos Santos look to continue his run, but Harris reads well. Has Sassim with him, goes alone. And it's a brilliant save from Apostolakis, who had a lot of action in the first half, as Pimenta looks to bring Morland forward again. Dos Santos looking for his options. Pimenta, it's a fabulous ball to find him, and his low drive is cleared away, but they're not out of the woods yet, Carlton. Dos Santos from Cooper, really looking to make it happen as Barrigos central. Pimenta to his right, Cooper to his left, uses Pimenta. Now Barrigos in front of us on the touchline. Pimenta again. It's a slower approach from Morland, trying to unpick the lock. Carlton continuing to sit deep, despite the fact that they need to get forward and get some goals on the board at them.
Morland looking to turn the screws. Santos for Pimenta, stepping inside, dispatching Sassim with the block. Must be said, nice build-up of supporters. Futsal enthusiasts all building up here. Quite the atmosphere building around the playing surface as the daylight bleeds out this beautiful Melburnian summer. Barrigos has looked very impressive on a big court so far, Ethan, considering he hasn't had that luxury of moving into space. He hadn't experienced on a smaller SFV court back in Thomastown, but on the big court he's having that freedom to really move around. It's been lively early on as Adam Cooper for Barrigos. Lovely touch for Pimenta. Barrigos was the question right inside the halfway point between the 6-yard box and the D, and he nearly was there to tap it home.
He's a handful as well. You mentioned that he's looking to thrive in the spaces, and he does well in between the lines. Barrigos, that's where he best operates, as Pimenta gets us going with Dos Santos again. You see him just drop in between the defence as Cooper has a drive, and Yerman does very well to save again. Carlton unable to get out at the moment as Morland keep those screws well and truly tightened. They're looking to make a heavy start to this second half, are the Blues. Drive home that advantage they took into half time. And Carlton are struggling for an answer. Lovely bit of football there. Finds Paul Verenti. Now Ben Harris. Tom Harris. Paul Verenti. They're looking to work it, and it's well read. And Barrigos has the chance to break for Morland, but once again, Ben Harris is there to make sure that he doesn't get through. He's been the one at the moment for Carlton in this game. At the moment, he's kept the minute, has had a couple of good looks as Cooper, that's a lovely bit of footwork, and rolls it for Dos Santos, who crashes against the bar. That was some wonderful football from Morland.
Champagne is what we call that, Ethan. Brilliant from Adam Cooper. He was just fantastic in breezing past opponents like the Witches Hats. Was able to have it on a plate for the captain, Dos Santos, who has a smile considering he had the easy job of finding the vacant right corner, although found the crossbar. And the scoreboard is not functional at the minute. It's Morland 3-0. Although Carlton have had ample opportunity to hit the back of the net. As Pimenta for D'Souza, the brace. Cooper, lovely ball from Pimenta. Dos Santos back to goal. It's Cooper. They work it brilliantly. Expertly crafted and finished goal by Morland. And it's Cooper who finds his first of the season in some style. They take Yerman right out the equation. That's 4-0.
It's a great move from Morland to make it 4. And you just look at the way that they picked Carlton apart. Yerman was absolutely no chance of making any kind of stop there, and the Blues starting to get into their groove. Some champagne football being played by the boys from Morland. There's Harris. Finds Tom Harris. Looks for Cooper, however. Ben Harris recovers well. Rolls it square for Tom Harris. It's a fabulous block from Pimenta. Not once, but twice. And Morland are able to clear.
Harris has had a fair amount, as we've stated time and time again, but he just can't seem to have lady luck on his side. Nor have Carlton had that same luck as Cooper. Dos Santos, bit of real groove about this Morland side at the minute. De Souza just making them click, it must be said. Cooper trying to fit something towards the back post. Shipping. Wolverenti taking charge. Kostelakis will calmly find Cooper. Great first touch. Pimenta has De Souza. You can see the white in his teeth. He was smiling the opportunity, although Harris at the other end stings the palms of Apostolakis. That will be a foul for Carlton, which was conceded upon Cooper. Play had resumed, as deemed by the official. So they can try and find a corner. And it must be mentioned, Pasco will have the bye this weekend, and have they made some noise in the January transfer window? A pair of Tigers at their disposal, that of Michael Newen and the madcap Mazen Abdallah. That's Kevin Lamb making his journey from Fitzroy to Pasco Valles. That's looking rather interesting in terms of transfers. Though Morland have been busy also. Just watch this space perhaps. Can't allude to too much at the minute, but dare I say they are cooking with potential rumours that are swirling. As Cooper, the recent goal scorer, will utilise De Santos. The game firmly with the Blues. De Souza orchestrating, Dos Santos going solo, Cassin central, taking charge, will utilise Cooper. What about trying his luck? Cassin will let fly, hit Pulverenti's back. Dos Santos once more, round Harris, kept going for Cassin, wasn't able to find De Souza.
Morland again, starting to really take control. Cassin with a lovely couple of moves in there. Pulverenti got pulverised by that shot. It was a fabulous block at the expense. Now, here's Cooper. Looking for an opening. It opens up for Cassin. But once again, there's a Carlton player in the way. They're finding it hard to pick the lock. 4 goals to the good. And it looks like the Heart, they haven't shut up shop, but they are sitting in at the moment. They understand that Morland are playing some liquid football at the moment, and they're in a very, very good spot. Harry can only find Dos Santos, and it opens up for him, and that's another brilliant save from Yearman. Sharp hands from the Carlton number 1 to keep the deficit as 4 as De Souza gets us back underway with Cooper. Oh, and Cassin unlucky. Rolled right under his foot. Harris now. And once again, that pressure, Adam, from Morland. Carlton can't really seem to get the ball outside of the defensive third.
Certainly can't at the minute. They're trying hard with their pivot man of Tom Harris, although Pulverenti steals the ball and gives it a decent effort on goal, but yet again, it's deja vu for Carlton. It's Christos Apostolakis for Morland, who one-on-one was there to make the save. Ben Harris will let fly Apostolakis yet again. Ethan, what is happening with Morland's keeper?
Apostolakis.
He is a man absolutely inspired at the minute. He has saved everything that's been thrown towards him. And Carlton have done all the upholstery in the kitchen as Cooper for De Souza. And at the other end, it's Yearman who has to intervene.
Both keepers are giving a great account for themselves. We talk about how good Morland have been, but Carlton have had the chances. The only reason that this game isn't closer is because of that man in between the sticks, Apostolakis, as Norbury fires over. And Carlton look to go straight away, but then Norbury cleans up. Both keepers, Yearman has made some fabulous saves, but Apostolakis is making sure that those sheets stay clean as far as Morland are concerned, as Carlton just edged their way up the right-hand side. A little bit stop-starty after the second half. Kicked off at a breakneck speed. Morland really set the tempo as Harris. Oh, and it's a loose touch. Really unlucky loose touch from Florentino. And Morland gets a reload now through Cooper. On to Cassine. Has Norbury wide and uses him. Cooper just breaks. It's a lovely ball to find him. He's got room now. And Cooper, that's a lovely bit of footwork. But again, Harris is there to clean up. And Cassine muscles off the ball. It's a brilliant win. It's like a Pulverenti. Loses out to De Souza. And we will have yet another Carlton kick in at him.
Altona to utilise Harris yet again on his left. He sits down Norbury, and Tom Harris hits the frame of the goal. And that would have been something special from the man himself of Tom Harris. He completely sent Norbury to the shops, and his effort was very fitting for the net to bulge, although the post managed to be Apostolakis' saviour. As Florentino for Harris. Numbers getting obscure, relied upon his brother of Ben to provide some form of help. And now De Souza loves a one-on-one situation. Brilliant ball for Cassine. And Yerman equal to the task once more. Some brilliant futsal on display tonight, the opening round, from goalkeepers and attackers alike. And it's Morland asking more questions. What a save it was from the Carlton Hart keeper. As Cooper, looking a different beast are the Blues. Cassine, back for Adam Cooper, hasn't really had angle to find his effort on goal. They found one there. Sherman was there to save. Harris, Pulverenti was busting a gut to get some space forward. Florentino will have a side possession. Harris, chip ball for Pulverenti. Still going, Balagos with a standing challenge. 12 minutes left of futsal, Ethan. Heaps of time left, although as fatigue starts to set in and impatience also grows, it's getting very difficult for Carlton, and they'll be looking to try for a consolation prize. In the bid court, it's not as forgiving, of course, as the on-court shoebox that we had in Tomo. Welcome to Darabin as Balagos wants to go for a journey, caught up in the crossfire, and has a free kick.
And you can sense that. You can sense that urgency coming into Carlton's play. A couple of times they were trying to force it. You see Pulverenti making that lung-busting run for Harris to find him, and it plays into Morland's hands as they commit more players forward. That shape starts to lose out, and we've already seen how good the Blues have looked in possession tonight as Norbury has a free kick. Conversation between him and Cooper as to who's going to line this one up. It will be Cooper's hit. Oh no, he rolls it to Balagos. Well disguised.
Oh, Ethan, I cannot wait for what you have to see with Adam Cooper. He can absolutely beat the brakes off a ball and be deceptive while doing it. Although it looked as if he was going to line up. He went for the pass instead, which I'm sure also bamboozled yourself, but those representing Carlton on court.
Definitely did bamboozle one of us here in the commentary box as Cassine gets underway. Cooper, wide for Balagos. Uses Cooper again, now Norbury. And this is the scenario that Morland want as Cooper. That's a lovely ball for Balagos, whose shot fires just wide of the far post. Hearts in mouths moments there for Carlton. But yet again, more lovely football from Morland. We talk about how comfortable they are in possession, and they just find ways to carve the heart open.
They have that quality, the Blues. They've had it for some time now, of course, but well, with Fitzroy going from strength to strength each season that passes, the Blues making a genuine article case and that they are going to rival Fitzroy like no other season come the 1st of 2025 as Cassine trying a backheel, which didn't open the door for Ben Harris. Play had squandered. Must be mentioned, of course, the new affiliation with Series Futsal, Football Victoria on board. They've reacquainted themselves with Australia's premier futsal competition. And dare I say, it is An absolute honour to have them along for the journey as Kassin will pull out a magic trick from his hat, which I'm not sure he might have intended. It bounced on its journey over the keeper and incoming traffic. And Kassin will gingerly run off as a form of celebration. But they've hit 5 now, the Blues.
And it's been coming. It's been coming. Morland have played some lovely futsal throughout the whole second half, and Carlton have not been able to handle it. And it was a good improvised finish from Kassin. It comes to him on an awkward angle, and you almost think it's behind him, but he recovers well. And it's a great finish to find the back of the net and make it 5 for Morland, as that's a lovely ball from Paul Varenti to find Harris. Just a little bit too much on it.
It was Apostolakis who saved it with his head.
Saved it with his head?
It came off his head, Ethan. I can't believe it. It looked as if it had gone afray, but not to interrupt you there. It came off his head. Almost like Mendy for Chelsea back in 2022 against Brentford. It was very similar to that save from the man in red. It ricocheted off of his forehead to make the save. It is unbelievable.
He can do it all, can't he?
I've not seen a version of Apostolakis like this, dare I say, since the Classico, the last one in which we saw between Morland and Fitzroy, or the second last rendition at Thomastown. Of course, it was a Clubs Cup matchup and league. Final day of the season contest thrown in that mix, but it was in the balance. It was him on the grander stage coming to full living colour. And he's not put a step wrong tonight, Apostolakis. He's feeling his nose at the moment, nothing coming out of it, but hit him square in the melon. That effort from close range from Harris, and was the keeper there to make the save yet again.
It's another fabulous save from him. He's had a brilliant game tonight. People would think with the scoreline that he's not had a lot to do, but it couldn't be further from the truth. When called into action, he's been superb as Barrigos finds Norbury. Oh! And it's brilliant. It is 6 for Morland. Norbury drives low and finds the back of the net. And you'd have to say, Adam, that it very much isn't against the run of play.
It certainly isn't, but it's difficult to decipher Carlton. They've had many chances. You don't want to do it, that's it. They've had many chances in which have helped them have the ascendancy, although they haven't taken them, of course. And it doesn't matter about the ascendancy, momentum, possession. You have to score. And they can't exactly look at this and be too hard upon themselves, considering it is a tall order against Morland, but they have had ample opportunity, and having, if they were to find the back of the net, the narrative be different. They'll definitely try to find a consolation prize. Ibrahim Hayabi is the goalkeeper now. We call him Himby, considering his talent, as he gives Apostolakis a brief spell in his goalkeeping experience. Had played at the Nationals, of course representing Victoria. Fernando Sarich of Altona coming across to help the Blues in that campaign, as Dos Santos trying to skip through the traffic. Will allow the play to continue. Ibi Habe just behind Pimenta. To Souza, lovely for Dos Santos. Yemen once more. Loving this combination between the Brazilians. They have such an understanding. The likes of Dos Santos, De Souza, Pimenta. They just seem to embody chemistry and connection amongst each other.
It's a samba trio, truly for Morland, and they've been at it tonight. They've been brilliant, especially Dos Santos and De Souza. That ball there from De Souza was fabulous to find Dos Santos at the end of a brilliant move. Yerman again equal to the task, but that Brazilian trio have been a thorn in the side for Carlton all night. And it's no wonder the Hearts have been hit for 6 with the form that these three have shown, as Norbury finds Pimenta once again. De Souza presenting. It's a fabulous ball to find him, and it is 7. It's a wonderful finish from De Souza on his return to SFV. It's like he never left, Adam.
Certainly not. It's De Souza who hits the hat-trick. It's fantastic. They've got the thesaurus out, Ethan, to find other words for brilliant. But scintillating is this Morn performance, as a timeout has been called by Chaban Rajab, and FC Carlton Heart are in panic stations as Morland have a firm grip on the game. The score's 6 goals to 0 as we cross to a short timeout intermission.
In the preview,
Sus in the trauma, hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you, I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. On the boat, feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives, I'm riding around in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind, now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
Both teams turn. Back from the timeout, it's time to get us back underway. 7-0 the score, really dominant from Morland. If the Heart look to salvage something from this game, D'Souza's not going to let that happen. Already a hat-trick wrapped up. Kelly's hungry for more, and Morland are hungry for an even bigger statement win on the opening day, as Harris, who's really been the man getting it going for Carlton, is looking to find a consolation, but it won't come. That defence from the Blues, too solid. Now Pimenta has D'Souza running again, but isn't able to stop it up and is fouled. Morland is showing that quality right now. We talked about the agriculture, brilliant, scintillating, champagne, unbelievable is the word I would use to describe this opening day performance from the Blues, as Pimenta hits D'Souza, who cuts inside and pulls his shot just wide. Danger signs again for the Heart. It was nearly 8 as Yearman looks to get them going again. Pimenta's equal to the challenge. D'Souza keeps it in, and they're on the break. Pimenta has Norbury, one more over, goes for D'Souza instead. And it is so close to being 8. He is so close to being 8 here. Carlton hanging on by a thread, as they can't seem to get out at the moment. The futsal that Morland have played has been simply unbelievable, Adam.
The opening night has gone.
I grew up with low self-esteem. It's me and my mom, like sus in the trauma, hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you, I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home.
Stop clock certainly gives
On the
signs.
boat, feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drive, I'm riding around in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind, now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
Actually found the back of it. Pimenta deflects off D'Souza. Norbury very in touch. Hold
KDS has really taken this second half by storm, as well as Pimenta. The three Brazilians, as he finds D'Souza, who goes down. No penalty, save the referee. He's looking for it. an orchestra, and they've got 3 Brazilian composers at the moment, Morland. They've been fantastic. As Dos Santos, one of those gets us going again. Pimenta looks to drop deep. You can see Cassine's run on the far side, looks to find him. Carlton get the right numbers around the ball. Eventually Power gets a foot in at the expense of a kick in. Dos Santos. Let's it run for Norbury. Uses Dos Santos again. You can see Pimenta's run. Dos Santos goes alone, and it's a fabulous double save from Yerman. And I don't know how Morland didn't score there, Adam.
Absolute embarrassing scoreline.
There's not a lot that he's done wrong, is there? Realistically, he's been in the right positions and he's made things happen. It's just that both Apostolakis and then Habe now are equal to the challenge. There's been plenty in it for Carlton. We talk about how good Morland have been. As Pimenta has a drive for the Blues and scores. It's 8 on the opening day. Carlton wasteful, Morland clinical, and the Blues have 8 of the very best, Adam.
They sure do, Ethan. It's going to be 9 now, in fact, and we might have had yet another issue with our live stream again this evening. But I can assure you we're back from our ad break. It's 9 goals to the good. It's been a great spell for the Blues. They've had much of it so far. And they're enjoying this current predicament that they're experiencing.
Blues well and truly on top. 8 to the goods. Carlton have had their chances, to be fair to them. Pulverenti. They just haven't been able to make it happen. They haven't had enough situations like this as Pulverenti's shot is fired well wide. Not enough to trouble Habe. And they restart with Cooper once again. He's got Barragos wide. Instead, used Pimenta. That's a lovely ball. And Cooper rolls it. And once again, a lovely bit of football from the Blues. Fails in a goal. Carlton, for all the concession they've had, have defensively been able to make those big stops at the expense of yet another Morland corner. As we enter the last 5 minutes of this game, it's been all Morland. Carlton with a couple of looks as Barragos looked to steal in, and now Harris can take it away, but Cooper just looks to roll it to Barragos. Instead, they recycle through Pimenta. Now Cooper again, twisting and turning before going back. They look to find Barragos, who could have broken. Pulverenti. Now Harris has a drive, and Habe is equal to the task. Can Cooper get them going? He does. Shouts for handball. And it will be a Morland free kick. Some real end-to-end stuff there. Carlton looking to spring the trap on the break as they have done all night. But Cooper again, so crucial in breaking it up, set Norbury free. And it resulted in a free kick as Adam Cooper, man who has a sweet drive. Are we about to see one of those? Norbury edge of the area, Pimenta back post. Barragos lurking for the second ball. It will be Adam Cooper, it's fantastic. It's a 9th for Morland. And it is drilled in by Adam Cooper. It's a brilliant finish, richly deserved with the performance he's put in tonight. He's been the anchor, the engine room for this side, and has finally reaped the reward. And it was a pile driver of a free kick, Adam.
Trademark Adam Cooper for Morland yet again, and they're really picking apart Carlton now with Cooper. Great block by Sassine, but it's an ugly scene at the minute for Carlton Hard upon their return. It's going to be a heavy loss to mark their return. And it's getting rather ugly at the minute. The Blues having a lot of fun with this one, and must be mentioned, while that little issue might have been occurring, our stream yet again, D'Souza had hit his hat-trick. There was goals plentiful for Dos Santos and Pimenta to get us to this current predicament that we are currently in. Can Carlton find a consolation? They're certainly fitting of having one accolade for all their offensive efforts. But it must be said, Ethan, they've been severely outclassed by what could be, very early stages of course, but a true, genuine title contender, that of Morland.
They've looked it, haven't they? They've looked fabulous from minute one. And that isn't to say, as Harris breaks again, that Carlton haven't had their chances. They have. It's just the quality in finishing has been the real difference here. Morland have shown how big the gulf is between a team who could be going for the title this season and the newly promoted side. As they look for a quick restart, however, Dos Santos is called back. But he finds D'Souza, who rolls it. Dos Santos look for the return, but it's a fabulous challenge from Paul Valenti at the expense of a corner. It's been a dominant display from Morland. Yet another corner. Cooper rolls it for D'Souza, who looked to give it the return. But the Carlton defence, for all that they've conceded, have stood strong in their fair moments. Paul Valenti making a couple of huge blocks. As we head inside the last 3 minutes of what has been, if you're a Morland fan, a fabulous start to the season. And it is 10. It's double digits. It's Cassine who drives home an emphatic opening day for Morland. The Blues in double digits. Carlton having double vision. They don't know what to do.
Could not have articulated that any better, Ethan. And what can they really try and manufacture? Everything they've thrown towards Morland, it's not being met with any response. With the Blues having the answers. And while Morland are well and truly going to be first on top of the table after this clash, they're going to sit pretty at the top, and I can assure you they are not going to relinquish that position under any circumstances you can imagine. They look a different beast. Of course, Carlton Hart, coming from Championship, having to really get a team fitting for series together in quick succession. It was never no easy order. You got to appreciate their valiance and determination as a club, although tonight has been perhaps an indication of the quality that this competition boasts. As Harris still cannot seem to buy a goal. And Habe will move it on to Cooper quickly. He has D'Souza, who steps around. No, he doesn't. Valentino was the man in his way. Great backtracking from the returning Robson D'Souza. Absolutely adore the way he goes about it. Habe will flirt with the roof of that intended clearance. Cassine keep it alive. Sassine will have possession of his jurisdiction momentarily. Cassin away from Harris. Dos Santos, they're having fun out there now, the Blues. Backheel for Cassin. The Brazilians 40 numbers. Cooper for De Souza. At the back post, not even looking at the goals, was KDS. The scoreline completely irrelevant. The captain in on the goal scoring party, and it was straight off the training court, that finish here at the Darabin Sports Centre on the grand stage of SFV. It is truly a performance to remember for all the right reasons for the Blues as they find yet another goal.
And it was a bit of Roberto Firmino about it. The no-look finish to make it 11. It's a statement win more than anything for Morland. Carlton, well and truly outclassed. Oh, as a shot ricochets against the post from Paul Varenti. Havey with a hand. Power looks to get them going again. Does through Florentino. Finds Kassem with a lovely ball who gives it back to Florentino. But once again, Morland alert to the danger. And the setup has been the really big thing. You can see a real fluidity about the way that the Blues have played, especially this man here, Cooper, who's got Barrigos wide, goes himself. It's a lovely drive. Crashes against the bar from De Souza. And now Paul Varenti, they can break. Not as far as Barrigos is concerned. That's a lovely block. A crucial block in keeping the sheet clean. And with their performance tonight, you'd have to say it deserves it. Defensively been sound. Now Florentino. Can Carlton conjure something from this game as we head towards the final 30 seconds? Dos Santos, oh, that's lovely. Brilliant bit of footwork. Has Barrigos wide and uses him. De Souza, is he on for another? Power. Across importantly to block the drive.
I will mention this though, Ethan. Carlton Heart cannot be discouraged by this performance tonight. They certainly tried everything they could. The score does not really reflect that, of course, at the minute. It's a real, perhaps, acknowledgement of how powerful Morland currently look. They are a different engine, different beast, different functioning body, with the Brazilian of Robson De Souza leading their pivot position. He just seems to make everyone around him flourish. That's exactly what the Blues have done this evening at the expense of the returning FC Carlton Heart to SFV Promised Land. It's been the rather peculiar first opening match on our live stream. An indication of what's to come. Might be more relevant in the go-home show of round one, where Altona take to court and they play Western United, as you might be able to see them on the far centre part of your screen at the moment. But yes, that's not a typo. It's an 11-0 victory for the Morland Blues upon their debut in Season 1 of 2025. As we cross to our last commercial break, followed by player interviews. I'm sure the match will be awarded to Robson De Souza upon his return to SFV as we cross to a short time out break.
Low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Red, I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind, now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
Robson D'Souza, it is a pleasure to have you back in Victoria, playing futsal at the highest of your abilities. A hat-trick upon your return. How does it feel to be on the big court?
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be back. And then a big court, I think it changed a lot. We did a good movements, and then now we need to get used to it. But yeah, for the first game, it was good. Play with the boys again.
On an individual standpoint, a hat-trick upon your return. It meant a lot to you to find that third goal. Just the emotions when you had scored for your hat-trick.
Yeah, it means a lot because, you know, we're just back from holidays, 3 weeks in Brazil, and then, yeah, I think it means a lot. It's very good to be back with 3 goals for the first game, yeah.
And just lastly, this Morland side, of course, they mean business in every season. Do you feel like now on the big court they have a point to really prove?
Yeah, it's different. Now it's different. Now we can like talk a lot about movements, talk a lot what we do, because in the small court it's more like always pressure. Now you have like more time with the ball, more movements. We can even like we can do the play, and then yeah, that's good.
Appreciate your time. Robson D'Souza, the man of the match for the Morland Blues upon his return. Thank you for your time.
I grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. On a boat, feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. I'm riding around in a benzo. Ready to I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now. I grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home.
Yeah, send him off.
On a boat, feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. I'm riding around in a benzo. Ready to I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now. I grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home.
That's the last
On the boat, feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the drives, the crew running around in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
Go-home show of the opening round. It's Altona who take on Western United. Two of the competition's finest goalkeepers in recent history, screwing up against each other. Aaron Yu and Frana Saric at each respective end in between the sticks. A full onus, you could argue, on their performances to help their sides get over the line in this go-home show. Adam Palombi and Ethan Riggs alongside me. We've seen Morland completely dismantle Carlton Hart in the second fixture. The opening was Fitzroy, who dispatched Tuam 4-0. Ethan, I can assure you this will be something a lot more defensive in comparison to what we've seen in the early proceedings.
It doesn't look like it straight away. We're off to a lively start. Western United on the front foot straight away. But those first two games, you look at who we think will be two of the clearer title challengers this season. Morland definitely laid down a statement, and it's up to the teams around them to respond. Western United and Altona looking to be in the mix. And United start with a very calm possession-based build-up. Angelatos put under pressure early. You good enough to clean up and gives it back to him. Rolls straight away as he finds Partimos. Now Soto, Partimos. That high press from Altona from deep. Already putting Western United under pressure. And a real live wire start to this final game, the go-home show. Adam, you said it was going to be a defensive, a more back foot start, but it doesn't look like it.
Altona had the corner, they work it back to the force field. Of course, both sides looking to grab the first goal, but you fully expect Altona to try pinch the lead early, and in their usual, could argue predictable selves, just sit back and absorb all the pressure that Western might throw at them. And it must be mentioned, a warm welcome, of course, back to Gerardo Soto. I haven't seen him in some time on an SFV court, a true staple of futsal here in Victoria. The number 20 for Western United. Angelatos brothers also in the lineup. Parthamos currently on court with Berakali, but it's Yanni Pira, the magician, stinging the palms of Aaron Yu. Most recent goalkeeper involved, of course, in the National Futsal Championship victory for the Open Tigers men's side. So Aaron Yu playing the game of his life in that final. Was caught upon early there. As for the lineups, just to run through them quickly. For Western, Skopolidis, Taze Sakaruda, Firat Castro, Tal Galpa and Hassan Arabi all complete the lineup. David Dukub also coming across from St George Bulls. As for Altona Knights, Fernando Saric is the goalkeeper. Parad Bezidpour is on court with Thomas Natoli as captain, Yanni Pira and Seb Locke. Latini Aliano, Varapong and Saric all on the bench as Nico Nadiadis and David Saric lead on the touchline. While Soma joining the King, Fernando Di Moraes, on the touchline also for United. As Soma always looking impeccable, fully suited up for the occasion. That is the state of affairs, Ethan, as we close in on 10 o'clock. It's been quite the opening round, of course, not without our difficulties, but in terms of the futsal being played, a clear indication made by the Blues in that second round clash of the opening. 11-goal victory at the expense of Carlton. True contenders they might look to be in this first season. As for these two sides though, a bit of a question mark. Western finishing strong, Clubs Cup victory at the expense of Morland. Altona evading relegation as they give possession back to United. Yanni Pira has Parad Bezidpour, but he's looking rather gingerly at the moment. He's limping a little bit there, Ethan. Might just keep an eye on the number 9 for the Knights.
He went down heavy under that challenge, didn't he, Bezidpour? And you wouldn't know that Altona were battling the drop last season. They've started brightly. Early chance for Natoli, which he dragged wide. And Western United still looking to come into this game as Soto looks to make things happen. Here's Parthamos. Draws a defence. Soto tries to go down the line and drags a shot wide of the far post. Finally some signs from Western United.
A lot of power with Gerardo Soto. A lot of precision in his play also. Look at the width on him as he evades your screen to the left. He's a man mountain. It'll be a real headache for defenders to try bump off the ball. You can see Seb Locke perhaps might be a good matchup for the Knights if he is to greet Soto, but it's Natoli. Of course, was a State 2 Golden Boot winner a few years back before trading those colours for Altona gear. And more renowned for his defensive and leadership qualities. He does know how to score a goal or two. Zaranu stepping inside his offensive half, the goalkeeper. This would usually be seen by Fernando Saric. Soto. To step inside, couldn't shift it across to Parthamos. You for Soto. Altona sitting back already. Arakali nursing an injury with his Achilles heel. Couldn't seem to play a pass across the face of goal. Scores remaining at the deadlock of 0-0. Either side yet to really manufacture a genuine opportunity, bar that one Altona effort that stung the palms of Aaron Yu.
It's been an interesting start for Western United. You coming up to the halfway line, almost acting as a sweeper, as Parthamos looks to get United going. Options left and right. Just holds up, waiting for the runners. Hasn't have a lot of options, and he's being pressed back by Ormond well. Lovely return ball. Parthamos now drives. It's a lovely football, and it is the opening goal. Fabulous finish from Angelatos, and Western United hit the front. A lovely sweeping move with Elias Parthamos right at the heart of it. Some fabulous futsal. Finished off wonderfully. And it's the first time United have really ventured forward. Altona now with it all to do, as they go with Seb Locke. It was a fabulous move from United, wasn't it? And they looked to go again under pressure. Locke ran out of room, as was the press put on him by Farouk Castro. Adam, it came out of the blue, really. Altona sat in a solid shape for the opening exchange. It stung the palms of Aaron Yu, who's on the ball now. But when it came to it, Parthamos had the key. And they didn't need magic at the end of it. The Knights, well, United found a chink in the armour.
efforts that they have early on. And this man of Elias Parthamos was the man asking questions. He gives it a real hit in the cannon. And while some dust just dissipates onto the playing surface from the ceiling, it's like it's snowing momentarily here in, well, Darebin. And that is a first. Now, of course, those watching are synonymous with the froth mop. That hasn't been called upon tonight, but it might have to be now for this substance that's just come off the ceiling. Following that Parthamos effort, that ricocheted onto it. And that's just called for a brief pause to proceedings. Perhaps the best time now, Ethan, to relive that brilliant goal from Western United. Of course, it was Parthamos, and there's a lot of magic about Elias Parthamos. Of course, was involved in that national championship victory with the Open Men's Tigers on the big stage. Really played much in the grand final.
He was at the heart of it, wasn't he? And you have to give credit to Angelatos at the back post. Could easily have drifted in field, but held his width and was there on the spot to round out a sweeping move from Western United. Altona really caught off guard by the pace of the movement as Saric looks to find Ormond, but the ball is just too tall for him in the end. And Aaron Yu can get us back underway. Gives it to Parthamos straight away, and why wouldn't you? At the moment, he's the driving force behind everything Western United do. And it's a lovely ball in, twisting and turning back to him. Parthamos trying to work the angle for a shot. Nothing eventuates. Altona holding solid at the back as Parthamos again driving forward. It's a fabulous ball and it's 2-0. Wonderful move from United once again. And Skopolitis on hand with a cool finish, calm and collected. Two wonderful free-flowing bits of futsal from the boys from the West. And Altona have no answer, Adam.
No answer indeed, considering they're trying to really hold their defensive shape. But how about Parthamos yet again? Just evasive footwork, and Skopolitis was very decisive in front of goal. To get it around Panos Saric, all the width and goalkeeping acumen he possesses was simply not enough for the composure of Darcy Skopolitis. And currently they're ready to score 2 goals to the good for those in black and green as David Jakub makes his debut appearance for United. Natoli thought about it off the fly. Jakub has a glance, has Parthamos. Everything he's touching at the minute turning to gold for Western. Skopolitis. Jakub has Galpa more central. He'll utilise him. Galpa also on debut for United. Parthamos, no look pass. Skopolitis. Parthamos making up some ground. Intervened by Ormond, who went on a journey, takes a tumble, draws the foul out of Nick Ormond, real custodian of the championship, of course, with Northcote back in the day. Was involved in their Season 1 playoffs of 2024, which they narrowly lost at the expense of, dare I say, Hume. But he's now found himself on the big stage. And drawing the foul is Saric, wants Bezapur. Wasn't looking at the ball in truth, Barad, and that was a moment he'll look to forget very quickly.
Good news is with Bezapur, he looks to recovered from that earlier knock that he took. Not a moment he'll want to see again as Western United and Jakub get us going. Finds Parthamos, who's been at the heart of all black and green magic so far. Now for Aaron Yu, who can drive forward. Just opens up for the goalkeeper momentarily, but decides to go for Parthamos again, who has a drive, and it's well blocked by Natoli. Altona looking to press high, but United just seem to be in control of the ball at the moment. Skopolitis tried to use his body. And Natoli runs yet again into a black and green wall at the expense of a kick-in. This has been some controlled futsal from Western United so far, as Altona finally looking to start to get into their game as Bezapur wins a corner. Moments into the first half. They've hardly threatened Aaron Yu outside of stinging the palms inside the first 5 minutes. It's been comfy viewing until that moment. A drive from Aliano, which had Yu scrambling, but to no avail for the boys in black and white. Western United look to reload again. Golpers wide and he receives. Has Yakub. Chooses a different ball. Yakub now looking to get on the end of it from Soto, and does. But once again, Altona up to the task as Bezapur has his pocket picked almost. Galpa looks to drive down the line. Has to retreat as nobody's home, and eventually Altona clean up, and Bezapur. Finally they get some control on the game, Adam.
Nico Gnadiadis is animated on his touchline already. He wants more stability. He wants quicker releases out the back half. And some more fluidity to the futsal. That was requested by their manager. As Yanni Pira on for Saric. First time pass for Aliano. Saric for Pira. Measuring Soto, back posts. It wasn't Saric arriving, but that was the idea from the magician. Execution was there. I know the answer. With no one at the back post, was never going to find any solace. 11 minutes and 50 odd seconds left in this opening half. A quick flurry of goals from United set them two to the good. Sakurada for Skopolidis. Soto. Jakub really tried something audacious to control the ball. He's on with Bezapur. He looks for Yanni Pira. The Persian singer in possession, trying to buy some time, some patience. Lovely way to ball for Saric. Yu interprets nicely and just takes the sting out of the equation for the meantime. As Jakub, United, you could argue, Ethan, really trying to just get the measure of Altona and decipher them open for what will be a third goal to the good, as Saric's clearance will find Pira. Sakurada against his former club. It's an extending challenge, although it will reside with Altona.
It's been an electric start from United. They look more composed on the ball, and they're just starting to turn the screw. Here's Frano Saric. And it's a lovely block from Jakub. They seem to be breaking up play well, the boys in green and black. And Aaron Yu is a big part of why they've been able to play with such fluidity early on. Almost acting as a deep-lying pivot in time, as Saric is now. Audacious scoop over the top, and it's a lovely ball. And United don't deal with it. And Bezapur just can't find the finishing touch. And Yu looks to have taken some damage in there. Signals that he's okay, but it looks like Bezapur caught those fingers.
He might have, but it was brilliant play in a very confined space from Yanni Pira. He was really having the ball on a string and was able to find Bezapur, although it was Aaron Yu who would have equal interpretation and just cover the area in which the ball was intended to go within. Barakali, not around Locke. He's done well, Seb Locke. He could shape up for the shots, and he finds the back of the net. And against the run of play, it's the Knights who fire their first of the season with Sebastian Locke. And they trail only by one goal now with the scores 2-1 to United.
And Barakali really got his pocket picked by Locke there. Didn't even need to have the key. All he did was turn the screw, found himself one-on-one, and showed brilliant composure to get Altona back into this game, really against the run of play, as United look to reinstate that 2-goal advantage. But Locke is starting to drive. Here's Pira. Just a heavy touch, and Jakub is able to steal in. But all of a sudden, Altona have come to life.
Certainly so, Ethan. And you'd expect Frano Saric to really start stepping up and acting as the makeshift fifth man, as we've seen him do throughout time and time again in his illustrious career. There's many rumours that he might have called it a day, but well, he's back on court in living colour, in the red for Altona, as Aliano can hit them, and Aliano can score them. And just like that, it's 2 goals apiece. And Daniel Aliano for Altona, from downtown, mind you, has his ticket in the raffle for goal of the round with a stupid finish.
And you can't afford to give him any room. That's where United make the mistake. They backed off. They tried to sit lower in the block. And Aliano took the invitation perfectly. A fabulous strike, and all of a sudden, the cavalry's arrived for the Knights. And they have got a real grip on this game. The futsal's been much improved since United caught them out the blocks. As Pira, he's been at the heart of it, looking to get it going, just too much on it. Couldn't find Aliano again. Otherwise, they'd have been in down the left-hand side. Warning signs for United. Parthamos. Can he look to get things going once again? Soto refinds him, and you see Pira in straight away. Has to resort back to Soto. There's Parthamos, who's shown the door by Pira. All exit routes block, and Bezapur is in there to put a foot in. And all of a sudden, United on the back foot, having made such a strong start. As we head inside the last 8.5 minutes of this first half, Soto finds Sakurada. Back with Soto, who's got Parthamos and uses him. Gets the return ball to Soto. There's just no room for him in there. Pira's started to really close down well, along with Locke, who's really come into the game since his goal. And all of a sudden, we've got a real game on our hands.
There's belief with Altona. They're certainly starting to have the ascendancy. They're managing to really not allow United to manufacture anything in the engine room. They've completely cut off their attacking third. So it's a side that had a quick start, quickly on the back foot. Frano Saric stepping up. You know he can finish from that region. Latini fires, stings the palms of View, who had a glance up at Saric, who's quickly off his line. Here goes the force field. He chips it for the back post. It's Bezapur taking a touch. And Sakurada will reside the possession with Parthamos. Great field of this one. Fully alive it might be. Soto. Lateral for Parthamos. United trying to just brush themselves off at the minute. They've had a couple of punches thrown directly at them from Altona. They're at one stage against the ropes, but they're certainly back in the centre of the ring.
They've responded well, having gone 2 down early, and now have taken the ascendancy in this game. Pira has been at the heart of it. So has Aliano. And this man looked to get it going early doors. Did Natoli. Ormond has Locke. He's been fabulous. Showed composure in front of goal, but not a lot of composure on that ball as they surrender possession.
Sakurada will opt to use Aranu. Just joining us for the opening round of 2025. We appreciate your company on YouTube and WeForOff. Took us a while to get here, but we are here and we are loving every minute of it as Aranu. Parthamos, can he reignite the cannon? Doesn't take much to set ignition to the fuse. And he wasn't far away from that far post of Frano Saric. Low and grounded the effort. And the keeper hadn't reacted in time considering how quick it was shot as Latini. Saric, it was a heavy press from Galpa. And all considered United, you could argue, have to resort to the likes of Soto, Galpa, and many of their already founded team members that they currently have, considering that Saka Valjaran, their star boy of the youth competition last season, has moved back to his first club, that of Fitzroy. Shoes to certainly fill for the likes of this man chasing towards the captain of Natoli. Time will tell if United can seem to just pick themselves up from that heavy loss of Valjaran, of course. It's one player, not a whole team, but considering the projection of his career, it's of the assumption that of a safe one is a player you'd want to have, as Ormond was utilising his height and his presence. It's causing confusion for Aranu. And it still remains, in fact it doesn't. It will go United's way with Angelatos, that of Jerry. Parthamos. Stepping forward, Furat Castro, bit of a pedestrian touch, Galpa. Angelatos, nice interpretation, stepping inside, Castro. Through the traffic's Furat Castro. He had no left foot, Ethan. And he looked to provide a Trevella finish instead of using his left. He did all the hard work, the big man. He had great feet on that occasion, yet not the right foot to shoot with.
When it opened up for him, he went for a bit of ingenuity. He should have just gone on the left and put the laces through it. He would have had the power to beat Saric from there. As Parthamos gets United going again. Now Yu finds himself almost at left back, acting almost as the second in that pivot. Ball was deemed to have gone, and Altona gets a reload again from deep inside United territory. They have a corner. A real chance here. Latini to deliver. Natoli broke, left it for nobody, and now United can break. But Galpa was blocked. Now Parthamos. Lovely ball to find Galpa. Castro. Trying to turn the screw and open something up. Has no options aside from Angelatos, who finds Parthamos. Rolls it back to the first goal scorer. Now Parthamos again. And he ends up running into Latini. More encouraging signs for United, who, having been rattled and rocked, are looking to pick themselves up off the ropes. And Parthamos, person who you want the ball with, Aaron Yu now, advancing once again. It opens up for him. Uses Parthamos' patience from the men in green and black as Parthamos tries to find out Saric at his near post. To no avail. And he immediately goes long, Frano to mark, but it doesn't work. And now Castro can break.
Brilliant
and Mark
slide.
Saric, brilliant. Fantastic recovery challenge at the expense of a corner, but it could have been so much worse.
Brilliant slide from the back tracking Mark Saric. He had to make up some court considering he had pulled up lane for a brief moment. Parthamos, Galpa. Castro has had quite the decent affair so far. Provocative, yet instinctive pass for Parthamos. Stepping inside Ormonds, trying to keep his feet. Parthamos still going. Castro gets it back to him, but they'll call back the foul. Nico Nadias and company aren't exactly appreciative of that, and they're going to have to try and withstand the blows of it following this timeout that was called by the Altona manager just before all those proceedings had occurred. The current state of affairs in our last match of round one, it's 2 goals apiece between United and Altona. Upon the return of play, a free kick in complete cannon territory for Western United. We cross to a short timeout break.
With low self-esteem, it was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home.
If they don't get relegated, it's because of
bowl. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. I'm riding around in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
taking their time from the timeout team talks. The King leading the charge. Freddie Di Marias, of course. I'm sure he'd want to have the kit on, although he's got the club polo on for Western United. And he's orchestrating the movements following this free kick. Elias Parthamos stands behind it. In fact, it's Galpa. We use Sakurada. Parthamos, that was the idea. And it's Saric with the acrobatics to make the save.
It's a good save from Saric and a really good set-piece routine from Western United. Tried to give Parthamos free ground and they find him off the corner at the back post, who has a drive, and Saric is equal to it with a hand of the post. That's a fabulous hit from Elias Parthamos.
After such deliberation from Frano Saric and the official on the near side, it will be a corner for United, although Frano was desperate in his pleas that he did not touch it. Corner for the green and black. Sakurada with Galpa. Parthamos gave it something instinctive towards Sakurada and the far post, and it was an intervention necessarily made by Altona.
Latini, it's a good block from Latini in there. Dangerous ball again from Parthamos. Sakurada's corner is a weak one. And Locke now can look to spring the break for Altona. But Bezadpour, it was just a little bit too heavy for him. And United get the chance to recover and have a breather. Started at breakneck speed for the men in green and black. Nearly caught on the break as Aaron Yu looks to go long. And it wasn't a bad effort at all from Galpa, just too much on it. Had to really stretch for the ball from Yu as Locke drives Altona forward. Bezadpour looking to drive, had Pira instead looked to go for Locke. But Castro marshalled him well and marshalled the ball out for Western United once again. They'll reset through Galpa. It's been an exciting first half as we enter the final 4 minutes. Aaron Yu bringing United forward again. Lovely ball for Galpa. One-on-one with Locke. Pira comes across to help. And Angelatos, after a bit of a scramble in there, keeps the ball for the men in green and black. United looking to retain possession. Parthamos broke. Castro, audacious and unsuccessful. And Altona can reset.
About Ferrat Castro, he doesn't mind the audacious, that's for sure. He's accustomed to finishes of that nature. Doesn't mind the occasional bicycle kick. Doesn't mind that at all. It's firmly in his arsenal. Has what can transpire from this side possession. Bezadpour trying to skip through. Galpa back up on his feet.
It's a good challenge from Galpa. Bezadpour looked to have got the better of him, but he stood up strong. And then Castro's in there to make the block. The important second ball wins and the important bodies in the way for United at the moment. They make all the difference. As Pira, here's him out. He's made a difference, has a strike. And Yu tips over at the expense of a corner. That one stung the palms of the Western United number one. Pira got some real venom behind that. And now Altona load up for a corner. He has Locke short. Looks for Bezadpour. It's brilliant. Fabulous touch from Bezadpour. And the turn and finish was sharp. And Altona, from 2 goals down, have turned it around to lead 3-2. United switched off. And Bezadpour applied the finish.
Something special from the man himself of Berard Bezadpour. Another player boasting a lot of quality, a lot of craftsmanship about that goal. He had not much room to turn in, but he turned, and boy did he do well. United trying to find an instant, spontaneous response, but Altona have really showcased what they're made of in this one. They're trailing by 2 goals. They currently lead by 1. It's 3-2 on the scoreboard. And it's really came from out of nowhere as Angelatos kept it alive by the skin of its teeth. Eliano will just calm things down. No, he won't. Angelatos is in. He sits down Frano Saric, and it's Yanni Pira right off the line to prevent it from going in. Chaotic play from the Knights. It was Eliano who gave away possession, but Frano Saric is just clutching currently at his left leg as Bezadpour had possession offensively. Yanni Pira with the imperative block to keep it right off the line. A lot to unpack in that passage. As Aaron Yu, United, how quickly the script has shifted. Skopelides. Angelatos couldn't keep it on a string. Aliano now. Wasn't able to clear. Saric able to attain. And the calls now, you could argue, from both sides really, is to just bleed off the clock. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in this opening half. Is there a calm before the storm? Will that storm arrive before this half concludes? Parthamos measured for Skopelides. Saric will take charge and will just relinquish possession back to Aranu. Pedestrian from the man in red. Angelatos has a scan, has Parthamos lateral. Elias takes a touch. Parthamos lets fly. Saric at a comfortable height, who takes the sting off the ball. Bezapor trying to roll around Angelatos. Parthamos keeps his feet as Skopelides. Aliano with the response. Minute 40 left in this opening half of our go-home matchup of round 1. Adam Plumby and Ethan Riggs on the call. Can United get themselves back on level terms for what will be the first time which they are to do so? Altona executing currently a game plan in which is not only seeing them come back from 2 goals down, but lead by a goal.
And you can tell they're looking to calm it down and go into half time. Oh, that's a lovely touch. Brilliant from Saric. Angelatos was alive to it, Parthamos. And now a foul, and United look to get going quickly. Angelatos looking to twist and turn. Parthamos has a drive, and Ormond is there with the block. And you can tell Altona are looking to run the clock down going into the break. Ormond back on as Angelatos and United look to turn the screw. Saric got his body in the way there and won back well. Skopelides tried to keep it alive and gave it away, and Pires through one-on-one, and he rattles the side netting again. Dangerous signs for Altona on the break. Angelatos. Western United looking to go at breakneck speed. Skopelides. Parthamos. They reload one last time. Lovely touch from Parthamos. Angelatos, Parthamos, brilliant save from Saric. And Mark Saric concedes a kick in. And Altona need to be cautious. Looking to run the clock down into the break. Is providing United with a plethora of chances, and Parthamos' ball just too heavy for Angelatos. And you sense that that might be the pressure release that the Knights need to take for the break. They go long towards Ormond, who muscles Skopelides, turns, and the Western United man gets in the way. But you can tell they're looking to run the clock down and hit the channels before half-time with Ormond on. As he has a drive, unfortunately the ball ricochets, and Angelatos, they have a chance to go here, Western United. They have another look with 40 seconds to go in the first half. Parthamos, Aaron Yu advances beyond halfway, uses Parthamos again. Is there one last thing? That's a fabulous ball for Angelatos, but no one was home. And now Ormond can break without a keeper, but he rushed the shot, and Western United, that is a real let-off for them. A real let-off as you were committed forward. Parthamos got back on the line, but was helpless and was waiting for Ormond to scuff the strike, and here's Skopelides. Inside the final 15 seconds. If they want to go level, it's now. Skopelides from Parthamos. And Saric does brilliantly. Wonderfully defended.
Saric will go long and look for Ormond. Is there a late twist in this half? Ormond let it sit up for him. He didn't take it on, but the Knights will set up. They have 2 seconds following the resumption of play, following this corner. When they do return to court, Ormond nearly with a golden opportunity upon his debut to find the back of the net. It was Aaron Yu who got in the way. And Altona will have to be perfect following the resumption of play. They have a corner upon their return with 2 seconds left on the clock in this first half as we cross to a short timeout break.
grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
And we return 2 seconds before half time. Can Altona extend their advantage? A bit of a wasteful corner from Saric, and that rounds out a captivating and brilliant first half of futsal. Western United landed an early double, but it was a valiant effort from the Knights who refused to surrender. And when the cavalry arrived, 3 quick goals turned the tide as we head to the half-time break. We've got a fabulous second half coming up as it's Western United 2, Altona Knights 3. Grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. Feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding round in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
Western had started this contest in a flash. They're leading by 2-0. It was Elias Parthamos tearing up the court. Altona have seemed to compromise that threat. Not to a permanent end yet, but they've certainly nullified it for now. Adam Palombi, Ethan Riggs to bring you the last half of round 1. What can United do following resumption of play? Ethan, would you say they'd have to start relying perhaps a bit more on the balance of play as a team rather than the one individual?
It certainly looks like almost everything good they did in that first half went through Parthamos. There's not an awful lot that they did wrong, United. They wasted a couple of chances, but overall their possession's been good, Adam, as Altona get us back underway. And I just want to ask you as well, what do you think the Knights have to do in order to see this one through? Because it would be a big opening day win for them.
Oh, certainly so. club that were in a bit of obscurity all throughout the second season of 2024. They were sitting in 7th place for a majority of it. And on the final day, at the expense of Western City, had managed to survive relegation somehow. But all considered, for the Knights have certainly readjusted accordingly in nullifying that threat of Elias Parthamos at the pivot. I'd say it would be to remain in status quo as Natoli spinning. Still going, Natoli! Aaron New had to readjust in practically mid-air to make the save. The captain nearly contributing to the highest order. Working out of a phone box was Thomas Natoli and nearly found the back of the net. Corner for the Knights. Having a firm standpoint on this game now. Can they personify it with another goal? No, they can't on this occasion, considering play fizzles out. What a save that was from Aaron New, Ethan.
That was a fabulous save, wasn't it? Like you said, had to adjust in midair and just got enough on it. Both keepers have started high, but you'd have to say, Adam, as well, when it's come to the shot stopping, the quality's been there in terms of the chances, but these keepers have kept this game from being even more high scoring.
Enjoying the game, of course. Gerardo Soto hasn't exactly come to life yet, but I'm sure as the game goes on, his physicality will match the likes of what Altona has showcased. Considering that's what they've done in recent time. The Knights have certainly used their more mature bodies, you could argue, in terms of physicality against this younger United side. It's all about having the legs, of course, as it goes on, as Bezaport, it's a brilliant ball to find him. Aaron New has options firmly with United on his counter charge, although he wasn't able to utilise Barakali on that far right corner. Saric hasn't exactly had the most polarising game, though he forces Aaron New into a save following the deflection from Skopalides, who takes no chances. Corner for the Knights yet again.
They've started brighter than Western United to this second half, especially Natoli. He's been getting on the ball. That ball to find Bezapor was brilliant. As Altona load up for a corner, Bezapor's touch is poor, and Angelatos can get United on the break. Barakali, Saric, was that handball outside of his area, and the referee brandishes the game's first yellow card for the Altona Knights number 1. It's definitely the right call. He's a long way from home, Adam.
Well, and you can hear the frantic pleas towards the men in yellow from the force field. He wasn't exactly comfortable nor happy with the call made by the official. His arms, you could argue, weren't exactly in the most natural positions. He does see a yellow card, and he just is having a chat in delegation of that yellow card by the official closest to him. Danger not averted. Free kick for United. Parthamos' effort will hit the wall of Seb Locke. Well, the force field. Fanos Saric was certainly animated following that decision, but all seems to be calm for the meantime. United have possession still in their attacking half. Will utilise Parthamos deep in his defensive. Aaron New. Just as well as mentioned that Fanos Saric hadn't really had the most polarising game. That might have ignited him. Angelatos, measured for Soto, holding up the play around Natoli, into the path of Saric. Bezapor will receive. The lone soldier for the Knights was venturing forward, and his effort was never goalward towards Aaron New.
I think Altona are missing a trick here in standing off Aaron New. He's such an important part of Western United's build-up. Same with Parthamos. They drop into a back two as Golpa mops up well there. Now Locke can get Altona going again. Has Natoli deep and uses him. The skipper's been crucial in the second half. Looks for Pire. It was a good ball as well, but well marshalled by Barakali as Western United just looking to get some flow into their futsal in this second half. They've been good at breaking it up, the Knights. They haven't let them get into their rhythm. They've had Bezadpour out on the break a couple of times. Natoli looks to be taking control of the game. But like you said, Frano Saric on a booking, needed to be careful in his reaction to that. Parthamos looks to see if United can test him again. Galpa. Angelatos back for Parthamos, who has a drive, and it's just wide. That was travelling, Adam.
Certainly was, although it looked as if, Ethan, it might have been one of those deceiving efforts towards the back post where they're hoping a teammate might have been arriving at that back stick. Parthamos with a lot more drive, was a shot of course, but still enough to test any keeper. As Locke spinning at Jakub and Angelatos in a double team really to try bump off Seb Locke off the ball. Latini's side possession. Heaps of contests left in round one. Locke through the gates of Bayrakali, and now Bezatpour with Aliano. Got a bit confusing in the box for Altona. And well, the human freight train of Brad Bezatpour, he's surprised he hadn't exactly wanted to put leather to the futsal ball and let fly, considering he was so close.
He just took the wrong touch at the wrong time. It was a great move again from Altona, as they have a shot just wide. Bezatpour is a brilliant ball back in, and Aliano just got it wrong at the wrong time, the heavier touch, and it allowed United to scramble clear as they reload through a corner. Here's Latini. Look for Bezatpour again, who was marshalled by two green and black shirts. Latini looking to take up the initiative, but he's met by Galpa. And Western United really hanging in here as Altona once again have started this second half brighter. The next goal huge in this game, Adam, but it looks like it's coming to the team in black and white.
Latini reverse option, Bezatpour twisting, turning, and goaling is Berat Bezatpour. The human freight train in full living colour. And that is him personified in a finish. Brilliant first touch. How about the spin and how about the finish? He's done it on a consecutive occasion in this game. It's 2 to him, it's 4 to Altona, and they lead 2 to the good against United, 4-2 the score. Brilliance from Berat Bezatpour.
It's not the first time today. It was a fabulous turn from Bezatpour. He's done it twice in a row to put Altona in front and then to extend the advantage. And Western United need to be really careful here because this game could quickly get away from them. They need to bring some calm in. Galpa. Parthamos, who's been at the heart of what they've done. And Galpa had a drive and Saric did well. Latini clears and Aaron Yu can get United on their way again. Advancing beyond halfway, Parthamos tried to get a ball roll on, but once again, the black and white wall stood firm, Adam.
This is exactly what Altona were looking to accomplish. Notice how they've just tucked in. They're not allowing United any inch of space when in possession. And it's going to take United to crack, given that they've got all the game to play for now. They have 2 goals to chase. Yes, a lot of time with a stop clock in play. But Nico Gnadiadis is the mastermind of holding a firm defensive structure. Although a different ball game, of course, with the stop clock considered. It must be accounted for that this is what Altona look to accomplish when playing sides like Western United.
Altona have shut it down well since going in front. They rode the early storm only at the cost of 2 goals, which we know in SFV is not the strongest advantage. And they look to add a 5th here, but Ormond's touch just too heavy. They've responded perfectly. And now the initiative is on United to regain control in this game and bring themselves level. It will only leave more chances for the Knights, however. Galpa had a turn, had a hit. To no avail. This is the perfect situation for Altona at the moment as Saric looks to get them going again. It was nearly a fabulous ball. Just too much on it and couldn't find Aliano. As you gets it from Angelatos. Parthamos. Now Galpa. Oh, lovely return ball to Parthamos. But Saric had it covered. The one thing I will say, Adam, is that Altona have marshalled these moves down the wings very well from Western United, and it's forced them to come into the centre. And you've seen from there the Knights have been able to pick them off.
They're stopping the threat. in the wide areas, and they've completely put a lock on Elias Parthamos, who just can't seem to manufacture any magic at the minute. Jakub only can buy a side ball. This is exactly what Altona want. They want to lock up the contest. As Parthamos. Aliano equal to the measure. Parthamos stepping onto his left, and Saric will claim with some comfort considering it had taken a ricochet on its journey. Parthamos heads it on for Galpa. Latini ushers the space in which Galpa was trying to interpret. It will be a talking to from the official. Latini takes a momentary spell. And it will be, amidst all the confusion, a night side possession. Yanni Pira, inside his own technical area. Lovely bit of skill to get around Jakub. Still going was the magician. Saric, the brothers combine. Mark, out of Saric, not around Jakub. Ormonds, playing that big presence. Gerardo Soto on Nick Ormond. A great individual battle that might play out to be. Very similar in size and height. Keep an eye on that one as Ormond holds it up for that of Natoli. Yanni Pira, the magician. First time pass for the forceful Frano Saric. Lovely ball for Natoli. He's got time in space, but not the touch to boast with it.
You see, this is where Altona are so dangerous. When they get this 2-goal advantage and they can sit off, it allows Saric to play long and leave Western United exposed. Ormond's there playing in the middle, so they can go long as Angelatos. Brothers combined. Jakub looks to keep it in, but once again, Altona stands strong. It's been a more pragmatic style of futsal in this second half. Saric again returns to his brother Mark. Looks to roll in Ormond, who does well. Gets away from Soto. Can't open up the shot, but finds Pira with a lovely ball. And all it needed was the finish from Natoli. Fabulous move again from Altona, Adam. And Western United are in real trouble.
Really enjoyed Ormond on that occasion. The way he held off Soto. Might have touched on that individual battle that will transpire. It's currently 1-0 to Nick Ormond. Great body strength to hold away Soto. How about the pass, which just skids away from the United defender, which found Yanni Pira, although his cross was a bit just too shallow for Natoli, who's in the box. Nonetheless, a great move from the Knights, and they're loving this performance at the moment. As Yanni Pira will reside with his keeper of Saric. They've had to go long. That's what United are trying to do. They're trying to squeeze Altona off possession, yet when United have it, Ethan, they haven't exactly put their counterpart to the sword yet. As Angelatos, Aaron Yu, now the 5th man. That's what the call has been from the king. That of Di Marais. Angelatos for Soto. Yu now. Angelatos coordinating this play of the 5th man. Soto lateral. The goalkeeper called upon. How patient can United remain here? Soto. Angelatos. Aaron Yu, a bit of pressure. Delegated nicely back to Soto. They haven't done much yet, United. They haven't exactly played that provocative pass. Angelatos for Soto. Jakub, bit too much on it for Angelatos. Yanni Pira pressing. Aaron Yu flirting with fire, but he can't control the ball there. It's his second touch. And ultimately, the 5th man on that first occasion, Ethan, hasn't worked for United.
It's been a problem for United. The incisive ball was not there, and they ended up playing themselves into a trap where Altona were able to apply the pressure and force them back, and it resulted in Aaron Yu being rushed and giving the ball away. As Altona look to go again. Saric from Natoli. Refines his captain. Soto in the way, but Natoli found Pira. Angelatos blocked the cross. Now here's Locke. Bezadpour looked to give it back to him, but was well rushed by Angelatos. Brothers combine as United look to get going again. Aranu once again up. Angelatos, Soto. Aranu, Angelatos, Soto trying to maneuver a shot, and there is a shot from Natoli, and it is 3. A 3-goal lead for Altona. They lead 5-2. The breathing room they were looking for. The defensive solidarity has paid off. And Adam, Western United were caught out and now find themselves with a mountain to climb.
And that's the rescue run when playing the 5th man. Although there's a lot of time left in this contest, it's the Knights who have it all in their terms. A 3-goal lead. Although Parthamos asked the question of Saric, all the composure called upon the Knights when they needed it the most. The goals were vacant. That's exactly where the ball had gone once Aranu was in no man's land. Not the start to the campaign. Those in green and black were anticipating, although they can turn that narrative. There's still time in this one. Skopolidis, Parthamos. Angelatos was there. Jerry Angelatos now had angle for the shot. Nani Pira, defensively sound. Heaps of time, of course, Ethan. The stop clock really adding that contextual layer to proceedings now as it's fizzed in towards Skopolidis. Move doesn't contextualise. But all must be stated, there is ample time for this to flip in United's favour.
And you see how quickly it can turn. In the first half, United flew out of the traps to go 2 goals ahead. Since then, it's been all Altona. However, a 3-goal lead is not safe as Locke looks to get us back underway. However, the boys in black and white have executed the game plan perfectly. Bezadpour looked to bring it down, was well marshalled by Parthamos. It's really been a topsy-turvy half an hour. If you are Western United, started so strongly. Now find themselves 3 goals behind and struggling to make inroads as Bezadpour, held up by Angelatos. Back for Natoli. It's a lovely ball for Locke. You came, didn't quite get there. That was a heart-in-mouth moment, Adam.
Well, for United, it certainly was so. Imagine that ball had a little bit less height on it for Seb Locke. You'd assume the net would ripple. As Parthamos, Skopolidis open the score in this encounter. Or at least have one of them throughout it so far. Hasn't had much involvement since, it must be said. Out of Darcy Skopolidis, there's no real calm to the cause at the minute for Western. As Parthamos. Skopolidis holding up Parthamos, ball rolling, not dispatching. Not sure Peter Parthamos exactly acknowledged or was fond of that idea. Although that's what's transpired. Deep side possession now for the Knights. And it must be stated, it is some performance they're currently exhibiting on court. Parthamos, controlled header. Well, initially looked like it, but Skopolidis hadn't read that interpretation. And it's gone out of play for Latini on the opposite side of play. Eliano. Natoli rather step forward. Parthamos will collide with Berard Bezadpour. Seb Locke had nobody home. Sakurada hadn't cleared adequately enough. And yet again, it's the Knights who are having all the answers at the minute. And they might have a deep side possession, better yet corner, to inflict some more pain upon Western. Latini. Aliano now on court. Utilises his keeper of Frano Saric. Eliano stepping around Sakurada. Seb Locke. Bezadpour keeps it on a string. He's chasing a hat-trick. He works it back out to Eliano. First time pass for Locke. Latini can let fly. Brilliant futsal from Nico Ignatiadis' company. And that was a brilliant move, textbook move, which nearly found the back of the net. It was Latini that let fly and wasn't too far away, Ethan.
He was unlucky. And Altona making the court look massive at the moment. Western United, even when they have the ball out wide, feels squeezed. Here's Parthamos. Shouts for handball, and a free kick is given against Seb Locke. Appeals from those in black and white. I think it was a harsh call. But it gives Western United potentially an opening, a free kick in a dangerous area, and just the man they want over it. Elias Parthamos. He's been trying to make it happen all night. Was key in their fast start. Can he offer them an avenue back in? It is Parthamos, it's wide. Didn't get enough around it, was hit with real venom. And with the way he can strike a ball at him, you'd have to say Altona survived the scare.
Definitely so. I think his confidence, not just of what United's confidence has, is completely evaporated, but meanwhile it's Bezaport at the other end, showcasing some real flair at the moment. He's feeling it within his veins, and he's enjoying this purple patch, which Altona are showcasing. Inside the last 10 minutes, stop clock really pausing proceedings. The ball hasn't really stayed much in play, it must be said. Latini's isolated. He was running towards Parthamos. Bezaport provided some form of relief for Latini. Bezaport goes down, no foul given as Galpa. Even numbers. Parthamos, Saric in the way. Now Latini. Intelligence from the veteran. He shows the ball off of Parthamos and out of play. As Frano Saric stutters, does well to find Eliano. Galpa colliding, wanting possession. And Bezaport, it's very late. What could transpire here, perhaps? Bezaport up in arms about it. He's quickly taken off. A yellow card, I believe, issued towards him. It was rather late, though, Ethan, all considered.
It was late, very late, and he didn't get the ball. You could sense there was a bit in it from Bezaport as well. Didn't get a free kick earlier for a heavy challenge, and in response dived in. Gives Western United a free kick. Finds Parthamos. Back to the goalkeeper. Galpa. Trying to find an opening to no avail. United. The wall of knights, the shield, you could say. Proving hard to break down. Galpa. Misplaced ball. But they still come again, United. Parthamos. This press from Altona is fantastic as Parthamos finds Galpa. Galpa again, similar combination, trying to be patient. As we head inside the final 8 minutes and a backheel effort from Castro. Deflects away for a corner. And finally, you could say, Adam, a more patient approach from United starting to pay off.
Certainly so, although they need something to just kickstart their hearts in terms of coming back. This corner might be what they require. If they can find something that transpires from the back end of it, what can they seem to manufacture here? It's a corner for Sakurada. Hearts in the mouths of those representing United. I know they need something quickly. Sakurada lofts it for Galpa. Aaron Yu. This is more measured. What can they try find here? Galpa. Back to Aaron Yu. Time not a factor yet, but we're certainly getting towards that being the scenario. Sakurada's there. Frano Saric makes the block. It's Orman that went for broke. And while they've scored from that same type of scenario in this one so far, Altona, and they might have a chance to infiltrate yet again, considering Aaron Yu has come off his line once more. Fifth man activated. Time not valuable yet, but it certainly will be soon. 3 goals required to draw it back on level terms. Draws, of course, are awarded now in SFE competition. No more shootouts. Those days are done. And that's what United, you assume, as time ticks on, can only go for. In all reality, Altona have not put a breath wrong since trailing by 2-0. It's hard to believe that United had this game on their terms at one stage. They've completely capitulated since that Scopolidi's finish. As you, chip ball for Castro, playing pivot, turning, twisting, Galpa. Sakurada couldn't miss, and he did, but the follow-up will go in. And Furat Castro is the man, instinctive, when called upon the number 9. Has that acted as the catalyst for change for United? They trail by 2.
It very well could. Still plenty of time left in this one for Western United. And we see how quickly a goal can change things. As Altona find Ormond, who's the outlet. Look for Pirret, was well read by Galpa. He's had a fabulous second half so far. United finally get the goal that all their possession, you'd have to say, is warranted, as Ormond has an audacious drive out for a goal kick. They've been knocking on the door since Altona scored their 5th.
But dare I say, Ethan, it's a more measured approach now. They're utilising Furat Castro heavily in that pivot position, and that might just be the difference.
It definitely is reaping rewards. Castro pivotal in the goal. Azu has a bit of a wild shot. It seems to be a change of setup, doesn't it, Adam? Castro's dropped in, back on the score sheet, but finally having that presence in the pivot again to sort of bully those defenders. We're in for a very big final 6, aren't we?
And with the clock stopping, I hope you're comfortable. Whether it's WeFroth or YouTube you're watching upon, can United write more folklore in their young history as Castro, Galpa, upon his debut, takes a block off of Natoli. Aaron Yu now. Galpa for Parthamos, trying to thread the needle. Sarge will go for broke, over the top! Aaron Yu acrobatically threw a boot at it, but it had evaded that far post, and that certainly not would have iced the contest, but made it a taller order, having it rippled the ball in the back of the net, although fortunately enough for United, that was not the case. They activate 5th man quickly. Castro, back heel. Snapshot arrived from Sakurada. Ormond with a heavy tackle upon him. And Sakurada just lying waste on the ground at the minute. He's clutching at the top part of his left foot. Former teammate Seb Block happy to help him back up onto his feet, but Taze Sakurada, well, just feeling the effects of that one. 5 minutes, 33 seconds left on the clock. Our opening and only show in January here at the Darebin Community Sports Centre, our new home. It's been quite the night we've seen so far. Is there any more drama to unfold after this opening round of the SFV season? And well, it's hit an obstacle in the roof there, Ethan. Not sure what exactly you might call that, but it has given possession right back to United with Aaron Yu.
It's unfortunate from Saric, but Yu is put straight away under pressure. Natoli held back by the Western United number 1. And the referee has no choice but to award him with a yellow card. Saric's ball over the top. Looked like it hit a chain near the roof. Well and truly.
Not to interrupt you there, Ethan, but certainly let off the hook perhaps was Aaron Yu, considering he was in no man's land. He took the game upon himself, and well, Altona, at any mistake United make, are there before they've even made it. That's how ready they might be.
It's Natoli. Looks to keep things going. Parthamos wins a free kick, having held off Bezadpour. Western United now starting to create more opportunities. Once again, Aaron Yu gets forward. Can the men in green and black manufacture another goal and really turn the tide of this game. Parthamos, Skopelidis, now you. Parthamos again, finds Angelatos, back with Parthamos. Aaron Yu, Golper, and Yu just gets it all wrong. And Adam, that's a serious let-off for Altona.
Definitely so. But it must be stated, they're looking more and more comfortable as time goes on. United, although are going to ask questions and press heavily like Galpa, who's gone down. There's a decision to be made here by the officials. A card will be issued for Yanni Pira. And that is 5 fouls for the Knights. How quickly the script can flip. So they have to tread water very lightly now, considering any more fouls will result in a gilted opportunity for United, which will be from a dead ball if Altona are to commit another foul. Last 5 minutes of this one, we steamroll towards Skopelidis on free kick duties this time. He steps up to the plate, has his shot blocked. Corner, yet again, another set piece in which United can try utilise their advantage. They trail by 2 goals. They have to find one now. It sets us up for a grandstand finish. And it was Galpa who nearly finished. Saric had to react razor sharp quickly. Corner for Angelatos. Lofted up for Parthamos. Locke intervenes. Mr. Riggs. Hope you enjoy the last 5 minutes of this one. It's all to play for.
We are in for an absolute belter of a final 4.5 minutes as United go forward again. Angelatos has Parthamos. Lovely ball to find Skopelidis, who turns, shouts for handball.
Got it.
And it is a penalty. Well spotted by the referee. Parthamos with a huge chance to get us back to a goal in it. Saric. As Parthamos scores! And Western United are only 1 goal behind. As we have a timeout here, it is all to play for in the final 4.5 minutes. United, who looked dead and buried 2 minutes ago. As we go to the timeout break, Adam, that group looks revitalised.
Certainly so. As we cross to a timeout break, I hope you've got you for the last 5 of this one. United trying to flip the script, and they've got a goal to get them perhaps back on finding, well, some solace in an equal game as we cross to a short timeout break.
My own fate, left the excuses behind. Now the it is violence to life. I took the pain and I fight, but look at me now.
Bezaport to get this rolling. 4 minutes and 22 seconds. United weren't exactly out of it, but considering how well Altona were playing, you thought as if they were going to find the means necessary to get it done. But meanwhile, straight from kickoff, it's their captain of Thomas Natoli who turns it in from close range instinctively. Out of purely nowhere, they reinstate a 2-goal buffer. Just as things were looking more promising for United, they have yet a taller mountain to climb once more. Unbelievable how quick things can change in this shape-shifting dynamic sport, Ethan.
It must be gutting for Western United to concede straight from kickoff. Having worked so hard to get back into the game, to only be a goal down. They've played patient futsal up until this point. They've changed the approach and it worked. But to have the defence be cut open so easily as Saric goes long. Looking for Natoli again, Adam. Where do they go from here?
And what does that say at that finish about Thomas Natoli? How instinctive. His back was to Aaron Yu, and he still managed to chip it over him from practically a foot in front and reinstall a touch more order for the Knights. Although, long into the night, this contest will go. United will not go down without a fight by any means. There's points to prove, there's narratives to be written for many on both sets of benches. Debuts from many representing United, perhaps the duo or less from the Knights. Can they find something on this attack? It's Seb Locke, who was kept behind him. He didn't realise the chance he had. He still has it there. Brief standstill in the arena. It all came to Skopolidis, has to be clean. Bezapur goes down. What occurs here? 5 fouls. It's gone over for Altona. And in fact, that is a penalty. It was Bezapur who impedes Skopolidis. It wasn't the other way around. And Elias Parthamos has yet another opportunity. Not from the spot, a little bit further out than that, against Frano Saric, to get United yet again within 1 goal differentiation. How's your bottle? The cannon's been firmly involved.
He's been fabulous all night. There's Parthamos. Oh, and he hits the post. But Barakali follows in. Now then. With just over 3 minutes to save themselves, Western United draw back within a goal again. Altona have to tread carefully. They know the dangers of fouling beyond the 5 fouls. Treacherous waters for the Knights. Can they see it through? Bezadpour. Lovely hold-up play of Parthamos, who deems to have fouled the Altona number 9. And Adam, this game is a real roller coaster. It just keeps going up and down. United keep finding a way. This is going to be a fabulous final 11 minutes. How do Altona see it through from here, or do United find a way to draw themselves level?
I feel as if on that roller coaster journey we're currently on, we haven't gotten to the good part yet, which is amusing to believe. A lot left in this one. As Natoli looked for Saric. It was a half-decent opportunity, although the angle was a touch obscure. Aaron Yu will search, and Galatas will control. Galpa. It's almost a case of how crucial the next goal might be. It might turn into something you've envisioned, but yet experienced on the schoolyard. It's next goal to draw for United. It's next goal to win for Altona. Who will blink? Who will have their net ripple? Aaron Yu will have to backtrack with caution. It was poised for the back of the net, that ball, though he was there. Casually rolls it for Galpa. Entered our last 3 minutes of contest. Parthamos for Angelatos. Got caught on it, and now Bezadpour, twisting, turning, chipping was Barad Bezadpour. And I'll tell you what, it was accurate, although it was a bit too high.
Just didn't have the dip on it, Bezadpour. But that's the danger that presents Western United in having Aaron Yu go out as he goes long here. Barakali for Angelatos. Parthamos has Golpa wide. Chooses to use him. Golpa, Angelatos, look for the return ball. And Seblock once again with a crucial touch at the expense of a corner. He's been brilliant in keeping the Knights raised, keeping the defence solid, as Aaron Yu is found from the corner. Western United looking to turn the screw. Golpa can't find a way through. And Altona look like they have some pressure off for the time being and can reload through Natoli.
Natoli goes very long. Aaron Yu will claim under no real pressure. Angelatos, time a genuine factor. 2 minutes left on the clock. Aranu stepping inside, trying something audacious. The game is practically on the line. Now Parthamos does the same thing. Gets it back from Bayrakali. They're storming in here, United, and they get their equaliser. And it's Tol Galpur upon his debut, who grabs home the effort with 2 hands at the back post. It was a real smash and grab from those in green and black. They risked everything to get themselves back on level terms. It's 6 goals apiece. And it was absolutely fantastic from Fernando Di Marais' company on court. And now it's truly and purely next goal wins. It ends a draw, it will be a point apiece. Keep in mind, Ethan, Altona have to be very cautious. They have a free kick, but they can't concede another foul.
They can't go all out and concede another foul. They have the chance to regain the lead here. Latini stepping over. Aaron Yu well off his line and hits the wall. Latini goes again. And United, through Angelatos, just about weather the storm. And Saric makes an important tackle as the Western man was on his way. What a comeback. 5-2 down. 6-4 down. And still they find the way. And with Parthamos, they come again to Golpa. Has a drive! And fires just over. Appeals from the Western bench for a corner to no avail. Bezapor loses control. Parthamos. Adam, this game's flipped completely on its head.
It's purely a case of next goal wins. The arena coming to a momentary pause. Galpa nearly had it lost. Will utilise Aaron Yu. Time precious. We're in our last minute. Welcome to Darebin. Welcome to the internationally recognised court. What an indication of proceedings it could be, although that pass might not be a real clear picture of what's to come. But what a comeback it's been from United. There's still time for either side to snatch it at the death. Saric will have play in his jurisdiction. We'll look for Mark Saric, although it's gone out of play.
Can see the nerves setting in on both sides. 2 misplaced passes. This last minute is about who keeps their nerves if we have 40 seconds to go with Soto. Finds Parthamos. Altona standoff. Parthamos. That's a huge block from Latini as the Knights sit in again, Adam.
Soto on court. The experience is required in situations like these. Angelatos back for Parthamos. Galpa got the equaliser. Steps inside Galpa. Exercises Saric. Now Mark. Time valuable. Extremely valuable. 16 seconds left on the clock. What can happen here? Parthamos. They don't realise the time, perhaps, United players. Soto. Is there a golden opportunity for something to transpire? Seconds ticking down. They've got to be careful, the Knights. Saric might roll the dice. He went cautiously. Soto has to shoot on the clock, although he didn't. And it ends a draw. Unbelievable end. It's the first draw in SFV in 7 years. That is purely remarkable. Soto had a golden opportunity right at the last second. He never pulled the trigger, Ethan. And it ends a stalemate, a point apiece. Unbelievable.
Why didn't Soto pull the trigger? Those in green and black will be asking. But it was a fabulous fight back from Western United nonetheless. Came back from 3 goals down at 5-2, 2 down at 6-4. And you have to say, Adam, they earned themselves a point.
A point and everything that comes with it. Unbelievable from the side in black and green. Valiance, of course, to Altona. They thought they had the 3 points wrapped up. Perhaps their overuse of their body strength might have just been the chink in their own armour, considering the fouls that had accumulated. Full time at the Darebin Community Sports Centre. Western United 6, Altona Knights 6, as we will cross to our post-match player interviews to round out the show. What a show it has been. We appreciate your company. Of course, the stream wasn't our friend at the start of it, but boy, that last matchup was certainly something fitting of what we're going to see here in 2025. We'll sign off shortly. Thank you for joining us. For now, we'll cross to a short timeout break. On the back end of it, a post-match player interview. Stay with us. Thomas Natoli, a whirlwind of emotions that game, especially for Altona. We need your immediate thoughts, considering it was perhaps in your guys' hands. You had it, United with a major comeback. Your immediate thoughts surrounding that contest?
Look, went down early. Was very good to get back into it, 3-2 up from a 2-0 deficit. Then we got into control, and then unfortunately we started to retreat. We should have been more aggressive on our press, and that way we would have taken the pressure off ourselves, basically.
Considering the performances of Nick Ormond, Brad Bezatpour, yourself in that pivot role, how important was it to really nullify the wings of United and utilise the strength in those central areas for Altona?
Oh, it's always our focal point. We feel like we've got the strongest pivots or targets in the league, so we always try and utilise them, get the ball to them early, take pressure off ourselves, and then get our flankers supporting.
What was an area in which you believed United might have had the ascendancy within, considering you had them locked up for majority of that game? Their goals had all come from either set pieces or quick smash and grabs. What area would you say that on your next occasion against them you'll look to improve upon?
Well, like I said about the first part of the game, when not saying they're not they're a quality team, but we let ourselves down by retreating and basically letting them run on top of us and get back into the game.
We appreciate your time. It's a hard-earned point. That was Thomas Natoli for the Altona Knights.
Grew up with low self-esteem. It was me and my mama, just us in the trauma. Hands up if you know what I mean. I see you, I feel you. I want you to know that you're not alone. I know what it's like not to have a home. On a boat, feel like I live in the end zone. I'm the one leading the drives. The crew riding around in a benzo. Red I'm in charge of my own fate. Left the excuses behind. Now I'm the illest violinist alive. I took the pain and I thrive, but look at me now.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
They come after you.
Should we? Okay.
Take my hand.
No, it's not made for kids. No kids here.
What?
Okay.
Look at Palombi doing
800
the hard
views.
yards. How much you want to bet that?
800 views. Not bad for half